Tulane University, and of course, he is in his fourth year at Tulane. He's worked at LSU, Louisiana Tech, Auburn, and Florida Atlantic previously, and he's doing an excellent job as Associate Director of Athletics Communications at Tulane University. Please give a warm Quarterback Club welcome to Mr. Brian Miller. Brian?
Thanks, Ken, and thank you guys for coming and inviting me to come speak to you guys. Like Ken said, I've been around, but at Tulane now, coming up on my 4th anniversary in a month from now, I handle football and men's basketball at Tulane, as well as men's tennis and bowling. So we'll talk about football and men's basketball. Obviously, our football team 0-4, and unfortunately for Saints fans, we're not the only 0-4 team in the city, but we are not as good as the Saints. And our record kind of shows that. We did have some highlights. We're coming off a 63-10 loss to UL Monroe, who, if you guys didn't see them play on any of their televised games or didn't see them play Saturday against us, they, and no offense to LSU, they might be one of the best teams in this state. They are an unbelievable football team. Should be 4-0, but they are 2-2. They beat Arkansas, took Auburn to overtime, should have won that game, and just barely lost to Baylor at home. They're a very good football team, but we had some highlights ourselves. Our junior place kicker, Cairo Santos, kicked a 54-yard field goal. His career long, tied the school record, and has also tied the longest field goal in college football this season. So, he's done an outstanding job for us. He has not missed a field goal this year in 4 attempts. Orleans Darkwa, our leading rusher for the last 2 years, came back, played for the first time this season, had 7 carries for 12 yards. Our running game, not what we expected this year, but he is hopefully back and will help that cause. And then we had 2 interceptions on defense. Lorenzo Das, a young freshman cornerback, had a big 26-yard interception return, and then Zach Davis, our junior linebacker, had a nice interception return as well. Football team is not where we want it to be. Coach Johnson remains upbeat. Obviously, a lot has happened to our football team and to the city this season under his helm. Obviously, the hurricane, which affected the first week of the season, and then Devin Walker during the second week. But you can't blame those things as excuses. And Coach Johnson and the guys are just looking to get better every week. Obviously, when you play 3 different starting quarterbacks in 4 games, no matter what your caliber of opponent or your level of your own team is, that's just not going to lead to very good offensive success. And that's what we have. Ryan Griffin, our starting senior quarterback, the most experienced quarterback coming back in Conference USA, was eligible to play or able to play Saturday in an emergency role. But Coach Johnson went with DJ Ponder, who I thought did an extremely good job, just for a kid who basically came in the middle of fall camp after playing professional baseball all summer. So with that said, save your questions for football. I'm going to change hats right now and go to men's basketball. Men's basketball opens practice officially next Friday. Have 17 home games on the schedule. All 5 starters return. Kendall Timmons, our second-team all-conference player 2 years ago, who missed most of last season with an Achilles injury, he is back. He is 100%. Ricky Tarrant was the Conference USA Freshman of the Year last year and first-team all-conference. He is back. He's looking better than ever. And, I think Coach Ed Conroy's got a very good team, and looking forward to having a very successful season. And with that, I'll take questions about football or basketball or anything Tulane related. Yes, sir.
Football player Dante Butler status. Is he still on the team?
Yeah, he is. He is our right now our second string running back. He didn't have as many carries as he has in the past on Saturday, but he's still right there. I mean, our running back core, Orleans Darkwa, like I said, it had 7 carries this week in his first game, and then Rob Kelly, and then Dante Butler, those guys. Josh Round's a young freshman as well. So there's 4 very good running backs. Unfortunately, our running game has not gotten the yardage and success we wanted this season. Any other questions? Randy?
Right, what's the latest on the stadium project?
Stadium project is still, still a go. Hopefully they'll break ground in January. they had a second round of architecture work this week, redoing some of the things that are worked on in the paperwork and the I can't think of the word, but anyway, the architecture of it. And they're still set to break ground in January and open in 2014. Yes, sir.
I guess being optimistic, one of the most optimistic things I think seems to be Coach Curtis Johnson's enthusiasm and his leadership ability, and hopefully his recruiting well. Obviously, whether they win a game this season, they don't win a game this season, I don't think that's the point. I think if you're a Tulane fan, the point is where we at going next year and the year after. Like Coach just said a few minutes ago, they were 1-8 and beat a team that was 0-10. And look where they are now. Is he still excited around that? Is he still, how's he doing?
Yeah, he is. Curtis is always, for those of you that have known him from the Saints and in other colleges he's been in the past, he's always been an upbeat guy, and he, at least on the surface, is very upbeat. And I was joking earlier with the table that if he had any hair, he'd probably be pulling it all out right now. But he's very upbeat. Tulane, we've started 12 first-time starters this season in 4 games, which is unheard of. We've played numerous true freshmen, and that's what he's doing. He's going after the best guys in the state, in the city, in the country. And sometimes these young freshmen, and he's got some great commitments for next year, they're going to come in and they're going to play over these older guys, and they might not have the same ability at this point to play collegiately, but he's going to give them a go, and they're going to play. I mean, we've had some outstanding freshman performances this year. Darian Monroe is one. He led us in tackles last week. Like I said, Lorenzo Doss had a nice interception, and we've got some young guys on offense too. So I think that's, like you said, if we don't win a game this year, I think the progress is going to be better, and the players enjoy playing for Curtis, and I think that's the positive you take out of this season. But, with that said, we've only played one conference game, and that was against Tulsa at Tulsa. We did get beat pretty soundly. That was also the game Devin Walker got hurt, so I don't think in the second half our players were playing with a full mindset. And they are, Tulsa, in my opinion, the best team in our conference. So we still have 7 conference games remaining. And, anything can happen in this league. So, even though we're 0-4, we could still win our conference. And, that's a very optimistic way to look at things. But you still have a chance when you haven't played the games yet.
Well, I agree. I guess what I'm saying is I think when you're going through something like this, you need great leadership. So I'm hoping, everything, his excitement he had before the season, he needs to have that even more now and be a salesman and a leader to the team, because there's going to be a lot of different. Look, I played at Tulane. I've been on 3 and 8 teams and 2 and 9 teams, and there's a lot of different. The kids, some kids go one way, some kids go another, and really to me, it's about this team, but it's also about the bigger picture, what he wants to build the next 2 or 3 years, and so. I love Coach Johnson just because of his excitement, and I hope he continues to have that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. Like I said, he has kept his enthusiasm, and the guys love playing for him. And 0-4, they still are upbeat. And like I said, still have 7 conference games left, so anything can happen. But, with his attitude, the team's really, they'll go out there. Today is Monday. They don't have practice today, but they'll go out there tomorrow morning, and they'll work just as hard as they did 4 weeks ago when we were 0-0. So, he's got them reeled in, and he's got them ready to go. And it can be tough when you're winless. You get the scrutiny of the media, you get the scrutiny of the fans, and Curtis seems to have his head screwed on straight and get those guys the same way. Anything else? I thank you guys.